Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are coming to you for the very first time from a new track, free track, the iRacing service, round 7 from Rudskogen. That's my go at pronouncing it. That's how I say it. That's what it's going to be. Massive field here tonight. 4 splits. Back to almost the good old days. Qualifying is just kicking off with a 5,800 strength of field, 5,880 or 60 or something like that. Who cares? It's 5,800. It's massive. 17 drivers, 4,433 buys you a ticket into the big show this week. But with a free pass as always, along with myself, Alex McKellar, is the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser. Corey, welcome to the big show again.
It feels like it's been so long since we've had a soft like this, Alex. A 58.66. Amazing scenes out there and a very, very stacked field ahead of us. Just having a quick little look through the names. And, any day of the week, absolutely any day of the week, any time of the day, these guys are race winners, but they're not all going to be right now on this Sunday night.
No, absolutely. Speaking of names, let's take a look at who has shown up tonight. Pablo Espes, who's dominating this season, but not so much in the points. He's only about 10 points ahead, actually, but has won, I think, 4 of the 6 rounds. He's car number 1 here tonight. Car number 2, Rasmus Fiori, his chief rival in the championship, is just that 10 points behind from Finland. Great to see him back. Tim Hendrickson, Team Torpedo. Can the Espes-Hendrickson rivalry continue? No doubt it will, though Hendrickson's had absolutely stellar pace this week and will be the one to beat. Dario Fattini for FPM Coupe Controls is back as car number 4. Not been up on pace so much this week, but certainly racing hard as ever. Oscar Chinchilla from Iberia, although he has got the Astro Racing Team livery on. He's car number 5, just ahead of the international man of mystery, Mr. Dimitri Philippides, taking the wide line through the final double apex right-hander to set up his first quali lap. Yuan Si Lin joins us once again for 5-Star Motorsport. Great to see him up at silly o'clock in China. Is most likely what it's like where he is. The leading Japanese driver in the field tonight, Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School. Stellar pace as always. Great competitor. Great to see him back out there. Car number 8. Oh, I beg your pardon. I skipped one. Is his compatriot, Tomoki Konno. Konno-san on debut here tonight. No slouch, 63.79 is the I rating he carries into this one, Konno-san. Interesting to see how he goes on debut. Car number 10, Brett McBurney leading the ANZ charge here tonight for McFlabby Racing. Back with a vengeance this week to see what he can do, Corey.
That's absolutely right, Alex. Coming up as car number 11, it's the top clown himself, Vasco Swarovski, with his shutter of clowns, spotting him as always. Coming up as car number 12 is going to be Jose Luis Mella from Iberia. It's great to see the hose out there once again as the 12th plated car. Got Neil Gardner representing car number 13 tonight. Lucky for some, unlucky for others. Let's hope it'll bring him some luck here tonight as we're nearing Halloween. So maybe a little bit of spooky luck going his way here. I've got Xavier Sanchez from Iberia as our 14th plated car here tonight. And behind him, Team Milo Bossman, Russell Clark from 15. We've got Jeff Randall as our 16th plated car here tonight from UK and I. He unluckily blew up his engine in the warm-up race, so hopefully some better luck heading this way. And Mark Lay representing car number 17, Team Clowns Racing, and he also had a bit of a struggle last race, receiving not 1 but 2 different penalties last race, Alex, so hopefully he'll get things warming up a little bit better for him this time.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Hope he does a bit better, the Team Clowns representative. But can I tell you, it wasn't until we got down to I think car number 14 was your first driver in Xavier Sanchez, who's absolutely no slouch, to dip under 5k I rating here tonight for 49.31 to get the 14th plated car out there tonight. Crazy stuff. As we're just looking to see the second laps starting to tick down. Espes is coming around. He's probably going to be the first one. as best as I can tell, though Hendrickson might pip him, actually. Hendrickson setting the pace not only on the track generally, but with his purple sector thrown into the mix. 32.3. Espes jumps up to P2, completing his second flying lap. Viore only good enough for third. Oh, Frattini jumps up, I should say. He's dropped in a 32.5. Unbelievable times here in quali.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. These guys are flying right now. These are about 3 seconds faster than what I can do in practice. As Oscar Chinchilla, who I think has only done one lap, has just spun off at turn 2. And he's only in 16th, so that's definitely going to hamper his chances in the race. There's Neil Gardner coming up to finish his lap, and he moves himself up into 13th. Car 13 in 13th. What are the chances so far? The next car we're looking at finishing up their lap here, Alex, is the 12 of the hose himself, Jose Mella.
Yeah, Mella coming around the final couple of corners now. You can see, as opposed to Philippides setting up his first lap, Mella taking the title line through the double apex right-hander at 14, coming up to cross the line. Crosses the short line there and jumps up to P7 inside the top 10 on debut. Jeff Randall, the final car coming around. Viore has set both his laps, so his final lap out there won't count. His cool down lap as Randall crosses the line and jumps up a couple of spots into 13th. Just pipped the unlucky, or the lucky Gardner, and Viore finishes his cool down lap. As we finish qualifying overall, let's go check out our grid for tonight. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo drops it on pole. Not surprisingly, for those who've been watching the series during the week, Hendrickson's had amazing pace here, dominant start to finish. Typically, Dario Frattini joins him on the front row for FPM Cube Controls, some 0.18 behind him. Starting off in the second row tonight, Pablo Espes, current series leader, nearly 3/10 off pole. And joining him on the second row will be Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School. Yamato-san looking to do what he can starting from the second row. Team Clowns, head clown, Vasco Swarovski put in a much better qualifying performance than he did in the warm-up race to start 5th, ahead of the hard-charging Finn, Rasmus Viore, who starts out of 6th. Jose Luis Mella from Iberia starts out of 7th tonight. Joining him on the 4th row will be McFlabby Racing's Brett McBurney. Starting from 9th tonight, Xavier Sanchez from Spain. Alongside him in 10th will be Yuan Silin for 5-Star Motorsports. Dimitri Philippides, disappointed with his qualifying, no doubt, after putting in strong performances all week. Starts from 11th, just ahead of Tomoki Konno from Japan. Going over the page, 13th off the grid will be Jeff Randall from UK&I. Alongside him in 14th will be Neil Gardner, Captain 499. Mark Lay starts out of 15th for Team Clowns, just ahead of Team Milo's boss man, Russell Clark, the third. Starting last off the grid tonight, 1.6 seconds off the pace, very uncharacteristic. The Spaniard, Oscar Chinchilla Massa for Astro Team Racing. As the red lights come on, we get ready to go. Racing here for the first time at Rudskogen. And it is the Flying Dutchman of Tim Hendrickson who gets us underway here on the first time ever here on a Sunday night for Sunday Night Lights, your place for the best skippy action in town, Corey.
Absolutely, Alex. As everyone goes through turns 1 and 2, a very difficult turns 1 and 2, depending on how warm your tyres are. Everyone looking like they're getting through it all right. The back of the pack still 2 by 2 as they go through. And coming down to our first overtaking opportunity can be a little bit sketchy, but it's also very worthwhile if you get it done, Alex. Turns 3 and 4 down at the bottom of the hill, and everyone's still looking like they're getting through it kind of nicely. I think I saw someone slowing down on that straightaway between turns 2 and 3, possibly serving a slowdown from that first lap, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. That would likely be Mella, who's dropped 3 positions down to P10, picking up the slowdown first of... I would expect to see several here tonight. The slowdowns have been epic this week in every race. I tell you, a little bit of a conservative strategy goes a long way here. You might not get the fastest lap each time, but flag to flag, can I tell you, dodging the slowdown is the way to go.
Oh, I can imagine, Alex, especially on the first lap. Slowdowns are just so much more brutal on the first lap than what they are on the laps preceding that. But up towards the front, you got a little bit of a gap starting to form between our first and second place drivers as Tim Hendrickson starting to pull away from Frattini, and Frattini is under all kinds of pressure from Pablo Espes right now.
Yeah, Espes not wanting to let the Dutchman up in front get away, looking to continue their rivalry. But can I tell you, you can just see the attitude of Hendrickson's car. He's got, sets his brake bias really, really low to get the rotation that he likes to have in his car. And you could really see it there on the run into turn one. And taking full advantage of being able to get on the gas nice and early. Once the rotation's done, you can get on the gas. And that's his approach to being quick around here and most places, to be honest. And it's been very, very effective this week, Corey.
Oh, I can imagine it is, Alex, especially around a track that has so many lower speed corners. Like, you just have to look at the track here. Turn 1 is a fairly slow corner. Turn 10 especially really slow. And I think we've lost one off the back. And I do believe that's a 17 car of Mark Ley, Alex.
Yeah, Mark Ley is coming back on the track. Let's check out what happened to the Canadian sounding man from Asia. Very, very difficult as he caught it up, and then it's gone again. Just when he thought he had it, it went on him again. I feel for him, Mark. It's so easy to do there, Corey. You come down the hill, and the cameras do not do it justice. The elevation change here is dead set, only second to Nordschleifer, I reckon. But coming down into turn 3 and 4, as we've seen, the braking, it's all sort of off camber. You're trying to carry fourth gear down to third, and the rear of the car just wants to let it go because you're trying to put weight out on the outer tires. You're also trying to turn, you're also trying to brake, you're also trying to accelerate all at the same time. The car doesn't know whether it's Arthur or Martha, and it's just so easy to do what Mark Ley did there, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's one of the easily most unbalanced corners of this entire track. And there's some pretty difficult corners in this track. We were talking before the race. This is a really technical kind of track. Yeah, it's got a couple of high-speed areas, but you really got to think about the lines that you're doing and hoping that you can stick the pedal inputs just right. As I'm just looking at the field now, we've got a little bit of a gap starting to form. We've got about 3 packs running right now, as there's a little bit of a gap between I think that's Viore and McBurney for 6th and 7th, and then I just saw a second gap starting to form out towards the back a little bit more between Philippides and Kono, Alex.
Yeah, the action though in that second pack is pretty hot. You got Lin and Mella who made that mistake early. He's got one spot back at the expense of Philippides or Sanchez. I'm not quite sure which one, but he's trying to come back after qualifying relatively well in P7 on debut. Of course, picked up that early slowdown, but then he's going to have a battle on his hands to get past Lynn and McBurney if he plans to do that. But meanwhile, Viore, we saw this last week. He was on the back of the front pack forever, and then I remember I said he was so uncharacteristic in so much as that he was so much faster. You see side by side briefly into turn 1 with McBurney and Lynn. Viore is so uncharacteristically on the back of the pack, and again here today, I don't know if he's picked up a slowdown or what, but I got to tell you, I was picking it to be a Hendrickson Espes Viore race for the win here tonight. Viore's had some sort of pace here this week and this season in general, but today it looks like he's getting dropped. He's now outside the draft, just getting a whiff of it through turns 3 and 4, but on exit, back outside the draft. Sorowski driving very well tonight to keep on the back of this front pack. He's in P5, car number 11, due for a good haul of points and I-rating if he stays there, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Same too for Yamato. Car number 9 sitting in 4th, and they're both looking at gaining about 50 I-rating right now if they stay in 4th and 5th respectively. But Viore, he's really seeming to struggle here. I'm not sure whether he might have maybe some floor damage or something, whether iRacing does model that or not, because he just seems to not quite be on the pace of this front group right now.
Yeah, which is remarkable, because I've got to tell you, the guy is outstanding in a skip. Meanwhile, up front, although I'm just seeing he's battling for position, jockeying for position for the final corner there at turn 14, side by side. goes Lin and Sanchez. Or Sanchez gets now side by side with Lin as they run into the final corner. Philippides, look, will he make it 3 wide? He's thinking about, oh, he's going to. He's showing the nose 3 wide into turn 1. That will get ugly quick. Oh, how did they manage that? There'll be a slowdown for sure for one of them on the inside of the exit of turn 1, start of turn 2. Surely Sanchez has got a slowdown after that. Somehow they all survive. Philippides, though, he's under threat once again. Sanchez looking to get that position back. Lin looking to run away with it. Meanwhile, behind them, Connor on debut is looking to make what he can of it. Philippides forced to hang it outside line through turns 3 and 4, Corey. They're almost settled back into a straight line. How is that for an opening sector at the start of lap 5?
That is crazy action right there. I'm not sure how Sanchez got away with that without getting a slowdown, because that must have been on the absolute very edge of what is deemed acceptable. As we go back up towards the front of the pack now, Tim Hendrickson still leading away, but he's not leading as comfortably as what he did in the warm-up race, because Frattini is absolutely all over his tail, Alex, and then there's a gap of about 7/10 back to Pablo Espes in third now.
Yeah, look, the one advantage that Espes has over so many drivers here tonight is his ability to position his car. I've watched some of his racing. I've watched some of the replays from previous weeks. His car positioning in a battle is absolutely outstanding, as we see Swarovski come up the inside, and he's gone. Swarovski's gone. He sort of planted it in the middle of the corner very awkwardly there. Let's go check it out and see what happens. We'll slow it down, see what happened here. He's going to go the inside of Yamato here, I think, by the looks of the livery. Yamato comes back, forces him to go very tight. Yamato, I'm not sure he knew Swarovski was there. Oh, Espes is serving a slowdown. Here I was giving him a wrap, and then he forces a very awkward position of the car for Swarovski, and then comes through and tags him in the back, albeit with a modicum of netcode included. Oh, it's just one of the unfortunate characteristics of this track. Espes serving a slowdown, tries to get out of the way, but it all just tangles up and awkwardly comes undone for Swarovski here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I was watching that live as it happened, and it definitely did not look like a fun situation for anyone except for Yamato, as he made his way back up into third. Espes now all over his tail with Viori right behind as well, back into this battle. But unfortunately, these guys are just battling over the scraps of the podium, trying to, battle out for the last step on the podium.
Yeah, that's right. We just completed 6 laps, started lap 7 as side-by-side Espes looking to go with Yamato. Hendrickson last time round already in the 31s, the 31.6. Espes cuts back. Viori now well positioned to grab his shot at the final step on the podium. But as you say, the front or the top steps on the podium are well and truly filled by Hendrickson and Frattini. It forms a guide here, Corey. Hendrickson probably leads this one flag to flag, with Frattini either hanging on or getting dropped. It'll take a mistake from the blue and orange Team Torpedo car to come under too much threat. Just going on form. That's not a criticism of Frattini by any means, but Hendrickson has just had pace to burn here. And I think in this second pack, what I was saying before is the advantage Espes has over so many of the drivers here is his ability to position the car. Unfortunately, either I put the mocker on him or he just made a really poor choice of where to position his car. I've got to say that the slowdown there for that incident really, I don't know, I think you could have served that a bit better than sort of tripping everyone up through turn 1. A mistake, unfortunately, that cost Swarovski his run. But going a bit further back, we've got McBurney flying solo, and then we've got this raging battle continue with Lin, Mella and Sanchez. Lin now getting the better of the two, or keeping the better. Mella having got past Sanchez, the two Spaniards hammering down the Chinese driver Yuan Si Lin. And as they run down the main straight, come into turn 1, are they going to go 3 wide? It's certainly 2 wide as Mella gets the inside run, forces Lin to take a compromised line, and Miller gets an excellent drive out. Will Sanchez look to take advantage? He's certainly closing up on Lynn on exit of turn 2 as they come down the hill. Will he have a look up the inside at 3 and 4, Corey?
It's going to be hard to see right now. It looks like he is going to try and go for the move. What I've seen, the move that usually sticks around here is you go wide in turn 3 and cut it down for turn 4. But Lynn definitely making it work up on the inside for both of them. And he works his way now into the 9th position. Actually, no, it's Sanchez. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. Sanchez works his way into 8th now as this battle will continue on for maybe a couple laps. But I just noticed something, Alex, that we've lost Philippides from this group as well. Apparently, a couple laps ago, had a little bit of contact with Tomoki Kono.
Yeah, let's go check that out. I think I got it on the replay here. Coming through turn 4 again. As he comes back up, Cornwall carrying a lot. Oh, well, some more speed. On the exit of the corner. Oh, looks all right so far. And then, I don't know if it's... Oh, it looks like contact, doesn't it? Does look like contact. Just been hooked on the exit of the corner by Cornwall, who had a lot... Carrying a bit more speed through there, I suspect, has been the cause of that unfortunate one for Philippides. As we check in on our leaders, and once again, Hendrickson setting the fastest lap undrafted with a 31.59. He's been threatening, if you can believe it, Corey, to crack into the sub 1 minute 31s around here. I don't know that I've seen anyone do it yet, but he's come the closest. I've seen, I think, a 31 dead, but Hendrickson looking to push the point here tonight.
I mean, if anyone can do it, Alex, it's definitely going to be Tim Hendrickson, especially at a brand new track. But, you know, I dare say, right now we have a little bit of pockets of excitement going on. There's several different groups of drivers going around, and plus McBurney all by himself sitting in no man's land. But the whole field's just kind of spread out a little bit here, Alex.
Yeah, interesting. You kind of see a mixture of pack racing here this week, plus... Like I said, like you say here, mate, a bit strung out like Brown's cows that we're seeing a little bit of here tonight. Each driver a race unto themselves, as we see. We check in back in on Konno. He's racing with Randall and Chinchilla, who's up 5 positions from where he started as the final driver on the grid here tonight, at least in terms of qualifying positions. Moved up 5 spots. It's not easy to overtake here, to be fair to everyone involved. Not quite as difficult as Sonoma last week. It's a different kind of challenge, as we see Chinchilla Mazar. He's going to have a look into turn 1, gets the late braking, beautiful rotation of the car, gives enough room and only enough room to Randall on the inside, who somehow manages to get better drive. Opening up the wheel here and moving the car out to the left seems to be the way to get best drive, but then that whole side draft thing cancels everything out again, and you're forced to go 2x2 into turn 3, this time with Randall having the inside. Mars is forced to go very wide. That could very well be a slowdown out there, Corey, if he's unlucky.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And judging by the gap that is opening up there, I dare say he did get one, which is quite unfortunate.
Oh, someone in front of him too. 1C.
That's 1C lid as well. Not sure what happened to 1C there.
Slow down.
We might have to see if you got one. Oh, slow down.
100% slow down, mate. That's cost him big time.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, as we check. Sorry, mate, go ahead.
I was going to say that's just made him drop so many positions. He was in such a good position, sitting up there in 7th, and now he's dropped all the way down to 12th, Alex.
Oh, that's shattering for the young man. Meanwhile, up front, Dario Fatani's taking full advantage of the Team Torpedo draft in front of him. I was about to say he set the fastest lap, but then Hendrickson's got it back from him. 31.36. They got 6 laps to go crossing the line. 3.5 tenths, maybe. As the battle behind them continues between Espes, Yamato and Viore. Those 3 pushing hard and fast, but they are some 4.5 seconds behind. Then you've got the man unto himself, car number 10 here tonight, Brett McBurney, up a couple of positions from where he started in 8th, a lone soldier there in P6. Mella and Sanchez. The two Spaniards haven't been able to separate them all night. They continue to push forward. Sanchez, well known for moving through fields, not here tonight. Unfortunately, he's only up the one position, and Mellor's where he started after picking up the slowdown, the deadly slowdown at turn 1, literally lap 1, turn 1, costing him at least 3 positions. Connor he's traded dancing partners. He was with Mellor and Sanchez for so long. He's now with Randall and Chinchilla, who's fighting both so many slowdowns, poor quali, everything up against him, and he's still up 6 positions, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And I'm actually having a look at Gardner and Philippides here. These guys are having quite the epic battle at the back of the pack. It's not for any points, it's just for a little bit of guts and glory. And these guys definitely battling tooth and nail right now, including a couple of little cheeky dips into the grass now and then. These guys just showing that, it doesn't matter where you are in the field, pockets of excitement can spring up absolutely anywhere.
And just behind them is the battled, bruised and bashed clown car of Vasco Swarovski. Those three, Gardner, Philippides and Swarovski. Oh, side by side we see Philippides and Swarovski go, just about to demonstrate my point. Those three battle hard and fast on any given night of the week. And of course, we could throw a handkerchief almost over them this time around as Gardner looking to defend from one of his chief rivals in Dimitri Philippides. So great pace here. He will be absolutely dirty that he's not further up the field, as will Swarovski behind him. And more still, the Gardner, who's had a couple of strong performances today, is holding them behind him, Corey. This is a massive battle, and it's only down for P13. Lucky 13. They all want it now, don't they, Corey?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It's that Halloween luck that's coming up. Everyone wants to be the 13, but no one more than Neil Gardner, who is driving the 13 car. So we'll have to see how just this little battle alone will work out for, the one position out of the points. As I said, it's not for points. It's just for a little bit of guts and glory between these drivers, because they all just want to be the best out of them.
Yeah.
Go back up to the front, and Tim Hendrickson has got about 4 tenths over Frattini still. So Frattini just holding on with that draft, not gaining anything and not losing anything either, Alex.
Nah, Hendrickson gained another fastest lap, purple time this time of 1 minute 31.32. Not quite moving forward enough to get that mythical 1 minute 30. However, Espes and Yamato are going to go side by side, continuing their race-long battle. Espes carrying a lot more speed. Oh, there's a sneaky slowdown out there. Did Espes pick it up? He looks to be continuing on in earnest. Up the hill through 5, 6, 7 they go side by side. You've really got to think about where you place your car and how you connect those corners in the midst of the cut and thrust of battles coming out of one of the most challenging corners on the sector, on the service. It turns T3 and T4 here as they come down into the hard braking zone. Camera again not doing justice of how steep that slope is into the braking zone at 10 as they come back up the other side. It's like a horseshoe lying on the side of a hill. And these guys, it's a really good fun sector, a really good fun section of the course to go through. These guys looking to make every post to win as we jump back up to the front, coming out of the final corner, out of another, well, it's more than a horseshoe. It's like a 180-degree corner, actually, through the double 13-14 complex. And down the run now into turn 1 after not setting the fastest lap for, I don't know, the first lap at about 10. Hendrickson still leading Frattini, Corey.
That's absolutely right, Alex. I'm thinking Frattini is just hoping that he can hold on and maybe make a move on the final lap, as we are only 3 laps left in this race now. The race has gone by super quick. But, you get that with these little bits of pockets of excitement that pop up, just grab our attention. And these guys all putting it out on the line as Frattini trying to close in that gap. Maybe he's going to try and go for a move next lap, Alex, as it will only be 2 to go when these drivers reach the start-finish line.
Oh, some battling going on deeper down in the pack this time round. Randall looking to battle with Connor. Connor very wide through turn 3 and 4. He'll be looking to hold off Marza now, or Chinchilla. Oscar is coming through and right on the tail. We've had a change of position behind as well. We'll check on in a minute. Yeah, no, they've got it done. There's all sorts of positional changes going on here. Gardner, Sorosky, Philippides. I'm looking down my telemetry and it's just those three names over and over and over again. I was going to go and try and find the overtaking maneuver that happened. There's just been so many. It's dead set. Gardner, Philippides, Gardner, Philippides, Gardner, Philippides, and Vasco Sorosky comes through and he's got in the sandwich between them. And in the background there is Team Milo boss man, Russell Clark the third, looking to take advantage. Pick up any scraps he can. Let's go check in on our leaders as they come through the closing stages, or the opening stages I should say, of the penultimate lap. Still 1 and 2. Espes and Yamato, they continue with Viore now, looking to get interested in Yamato. Will he have a look down the bottom of the hill of the draft of Espes, keeping Yamato safe for another time round, Corey?
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Although Viore did have a lot of speed coming into turn 3, just didn't have the time and space to do anything with it, as Espes takes a slightly wider line than everyone else and a little bit more sideways too, just helping the car turn without having to stress out his steering input so much. And these guys, I reckon these guys are heading for a big final lap battle, Alex, because just the way that their cars seem to be, the attitudes of the cars in particular, and these guys are definitely setting up something for the final lap.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else. This Mella and Sanchez, they've been going hard at it throughout the whole race. Gardner now has put a bit of a gap between him and the chasing three of Chinchilla, Conno and Lin. Oh, I just moved off it as the battle. Oh, Conno throws it up the inside at 10. Looks to almost get it done. Gets a good drive out, but that'll be checked up because Chinchilla is in front. Side by side, Lin and Conno going side by side still through the final sector. They go through turn 13 now. They'll have to switch directions, plant the outside of the car, try to find grip. And it is Conno who manages to hold on, but will be some compromise into turn 1. Let's check out the final lap of the race for our leaders as sedately almost Hendrickson runs away once again, still sitting in the 31.3s. Espes now goes over to defend from Yamato. Viore looking to get interested as well, but it'll be Yamato leaving the door open for Viore underneath. Can he keep it tight enough? Yes, he can. They're still side by side up the hill once again, but it'll be inside for Yamato that gets it done at 5, 6, 7 now. Line of stern, very tough to get through now on the last lap with this shorter distance to go. Meanwhile, the leaders, Hendrickson and Frattini, coming through turn 10 to close out and into the final sector for the final time, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And I want to also say there's been a change for 13th as well, as Vasco has gotten up past Neil Gardner. They were battling side by side through 5, 6, and 7, although that has been sorted out now for the moment. Going back to our leaders as they're coming through the final corner, and this will be Frattini's last chance to do anything, although I think he's too far back. It's only 2/10 in it, but your winner here for the first time is going to be Tim Hendrickson, Alex, and what an excellent win that was.
Fantastic drive from Hendrickson, first win this season. Great job. Espes now, the first time in about a month, hasn't won the thing. He's finished on the podium though. McBurney coming across to lead the ANZ continue. Now this Spanish battle between Mella and Sanchez is taken out by Mella, Randall, Chinchilla, and the rest of the crew coming along. Who wins this battle here? Sorosky, bit between his teeth, drives his way back, albeit just outside the points for SNL this week. And that, folks, might just about do it. Although we've got some donuts going on from a blue and orange car. Yeah, I don't know who that fella is or what he's doing. I think there's a slowdown out there, Corey. What do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And I've just got the radio going, and they're talking about how Tim Hendrickson is just trying to dig an irrigation system for the sandpit right now. So a little bit of fun and games post-race. Russell Clark coming in to say congratulations, as he does.
Yeah, spoiling all the fun is another way of putting it. Anyway, good times. All right, let's leave the boys to their fun. Let's go check out the results of the race this week. For round 7, season 29 of Sunday Night Lights, Rudskogen. Anyway, It's the new Danish track. Fantastic debut here tonight. 5,800 plus strength of field for debut. Fantastic work from iRacing to put a quality track like this on the free rotation of content in the service. Thank you very much. We enjoyed it all very much. Thank you, iRacing. Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo takes it out tonight. No one else can say they put their hand on the trophy for the first time after this. Hendrickson can lay claim to that. Second in the results here tonight is Dario Frattini for FPM Cube Controls. Proved me right, saying that he'd be hanging on for dear life throughout the race, with Hendrickson having the pace to dominate once again. And Frattini, though, doing fantastically well with a great result, finishing second here tonight. Pablo Espes, been dominant for the past month, still manages to get a podium and probably increase his lead given where his chief rival Viore finished. So a good night at the office for him. Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School, leading Japanese driver here tonight in the results, and not too surprising at all given the quality of the man. Rasmus Viore for Finland, once again a strong top 5 finish for him. He is one to watch, if not for this season. If he hangs around in the skips, I reckon he'll be right up there for seasons to come. Brett McBurney, the leading ANZ driver, in 6th here tonight for McFlabby Racing. Jose Luis Mella, the leading, or the second Iberian, I should say, after Espes, finishing in 7th, just ahead of his sparring partner throughout the race, Xavier Sanchez in P8. Jeff Randall, UK and I, comes in 9th tonight, just ahead of Oscar Chinchilla from Iberia, who finishes 10th. Yuan Tsi Lin for 5-Star Motorsport stayed up very late and hung on for P11 in a great battle with Tomoki Kono from Japan. On debut, finishes in 12th, rounding out your Sunday Night Lights points for this week. 13th tonight, Vasco Sorosky for Team Clowns. Disappointed, no doubt, with his results, but a good drive to finish ahead of some of his chief sparring partners in Neil Gardner, who finished 14th, and Dimitri Philippides in 15th. Russell Clark, the third, the Team Milo boss man. He finished in 16th tonight ahead of Mark Lay for Team Clowns. At least there were 2 clown cars in the field tonight, and unfortunately for Mark, he's finished down in 17th. Corey, that was a really good race to open proceedings here at a really interesting track, one that's very welcome here in the Skippies for sure.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, and I hope that we see this track return again next season, and then for a few seasons to come, because the action that it put on here tonight was absolutely on point. And what a debut for the track, and a great win for Tim Hendrickson there. The pockets of excitement is immense all the way through the field, even battling for 13th. And it's not very often we can say that there's many tracks where you'll see that kind of action all the way through the field, because normally the action teeters off after about the top 5 or 10. So these guys absolutely put on the action here tonight, and it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. A track leads to that kind of racing, and the quality of the field similarly. But speaking of quality, the man who was the quality of the field here tonight, Mr. Tim Hendrickson, joins us in the booth now. Tim, well done, mate. I'm going to grab a camera angle that looks out the rear of your car, because that's about where the action was tonight, behind you, I think. It was all behind you tonight, mate. Had good pace here this week and put it to good use here tonight.
I went for it. I'm very glad I could for once actually convert what I had in a normal race to an SNL. Really proud of that. Of course, it helped that I had someone up my bum that I could trust, even though he's only really, as some say, a 2K driver. Yeah, I'm glad I had the pace here. I love the track. Yeah, really happy.
Yeah, well done, mate. It was a great drive. You've been driving strongly here all week, of course. I'm trying to find... There we go. There's another angle looking out the back at your sparring partner there tonight, Mr. Frattini. Yeah, but look, mate, you've been strong here all week. Obviously, the track has... or you've gelled with the track. Your opinion, mate, first up, putting the win aside. It's quite a lot of character in this one, isn't it?
I love it. It's pretty much perfect for the Skippy. There's not seconds of draft like on some tracks, and there are overtaking opportunities. Yes, you have to work for them. It's not just overtake on the straight kind of track, but all the hairpins, all the fast sweepers, there's always opportunities for people to make mistakes, be it from sliding wide, taking not enough speed, or getting a slowdown. Like there's a few on this track.
Yeah,
But that
just a
really
couple.
keeps you on your toes, and you really have to work those tiny margins that are left on the track to get the most out of it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's a lot of character here. It really makes you think about your racing and how you do it, and that's what this category is, mate. It's a thinking man's category, in my opinion. It's good, and the skip gives you
Very
time to
much
think.
so.
Yeah, it gives you time to think. It's good.
Underappreciated, some would say.
Some might say that, indeed. All right, mate. Thank you so much for joining us, mate. Congrats on the win. Really pleased for you. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
You guys, of course, for putting on the broadcast. I mean, I've said it plenty of times, haven't I? You should know it by now. God, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You too, Corey. You've been silent. I haven't heard you. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
And of course, my wonderful Team Torpedo teammates that are nothing but unhelpful and terrible teammates, but I love them anyway.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Maybe we might get one of them out here, one or two of them out here in the weeks to come,
I think next week we might be visited by one Anthony Prime Minister Jones.
Oh, looking forward to it, mate. Phillip Island, nothing better than it. All right, good. Thanks, mate. Good to talk to you. Catch you next week.
Bye.
There you go, Corey. Tim Hendrickson taking out an excellent victory here tonight. I got to tell you, I wasn't too surprised. I've watched him race a bit this week. I've seen him around, and he's certainly been the guy to beat each and every race he's been in.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Even just watching him from the warm-up race, you could just tell that he had that air about him where, this is just one of those tracks where he will just absolutely gel with, and he will dominate start to finish. It's shades of old with Tim Hendrickson out there. This is the kind of drive that he would put on a couple of years ago against what was at that time some of our strongest fields, and he absolutely turned up tonight, turned on the action, and dominated start to finish, and didn't look back from there.
Oh, that's it, mate. And interestingly, you say strongest field. I'd go so far as to say this would be possibly the second strongest Skippy field ever put together based on strength of field. I know we did a 6K race at Nürburgring, GP layout, but I don't remember one that's gone higher than 58-60 odd other than that one. So it could be one to stick in the scrapbook. Now, let's grab up our second place finisher here tonight, Mr. Dario Frattini. Dario, mate, you had to stare at the back of that green, that orange and blue mobile all night. What was going through your head during that one?
Well, I was mostly worried you were gonna get bored because, I mean, I had no answer for Tim. He's been probably at least 3 tenths ahead of us all week. I managed to find some pace overnight by sleeping. I wasn't feeling very good to be honest this week, so I was getting headaches driving, so I couldn't. I was driving a bit conservatively over the week, so it's like I took off the training wheels today. I found a couple of tenths by pushing a bit harder, but it wouldn't been enough anyway. I was just happy to be in second with how my luck's been the last few weeks.
Yeah, mate, been a bit like that for you, I know. And this week you could find a slowdown here from what I saw as well. So thankfully, putting one together without slowdowns was enough to clear the rest of the field and come away with a good result, mate. Plenty of points in the bag. I think about 64 I rating. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, absolutely. And the soft was quite high as well. All week was just practice to find all those slowdowns. Especially, I think I had more practice than most at following people around and not getting slowdowns. So I could anticipate some corners better. Definitely helped to get the confidence and not lose the train here.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's the way. Although it's a high price to pay. Although perhaps it all paid off in the end. P2 and the big one. And I was just thinking, mate, it's probably the second highest strength of field in Skip Barber history. So podium and that's nothing. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty close. I know we've done one better. We had a 6K race a couple of seasons ago, and I don't know if there's been anything close to that since. So podium in that race is nothing to sneeze at, mate. So congratulations. Anyone?
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
All the community. We get a lot of people coming and racing every week and keeping the series alive. And you're helping so much with your broadcast, you and Corey. So thank you very much.
No, I appreciate it, mate. And absolutely, the community rallies behind us, and certainly there's a really good little community going around as well. Check out on the iRacing forum, folks. There's a link to the Skip Barber community Discord as well. A lot of good stuff goes on in there. But Dario, thank you very much for joining us on track, and of course here in the booth here tonight. We look forward to seeing you again in the weeks to come.
Yeah, I can't wait for Phillip Islands. Thank you. Goodbye.
There you go, Corey. Dario Fattini, the flying Italian, out in, he's out in the front pack at least here tonight, putting on a great performance.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's I'm glad to see him right up there and challenging hard in what was, I guess, difficult circumstances with him being a little bit under the weather. But he just stayed up there under Tim's wing for most of the race, and it definitely paid dividends for him. He held on to second the entire time, and as you said, great result, great points, great I-rating gain, and next week Phillip Island, fast, flowy track, and I reckon just quietly that he might be one of the ones to watch around there, honestly.
Yeah, it could be, mate. Different kind of racing at Phillip Island next week, that's for sure. But looking forward to nonetheless. Really like Phillip Island. But for now, we've got our final visitor in the comm box here tonight, head clown, Mr. Vasco Sorowski. He was right up there until he wasn't. And then got the elbows out with the boys out the back of town today to get as far up as he could. Vasco, the race for you, frustrating or what?
Evening, boys. Yeah, that whole quality thing really hurts. It's just like, put it together once. Oh, look, it's always good fun. Here, it was going to be a struggle. Anyway, the front pack was quality plus, right? They're all flying. Yeah, it was a bit unexpected. Sort of checked up a little bit, and I think netcode killed us a bit. And I can safely say that the Skippy with a damaged rear wing since the last update is not as fast. We still ended up having a good battle. We got onto the back of the boys down there, and yeah, it was a bit interesting. So it was different. Fun, it's all good. Yeah, we're a little bit disappointed. Yeah, there's not much we can do. It's out of our hands there. So should have been faster. All the rest of it weren't fast enough, and that's what happens.
Yeah, I know you say you didn't qualify well, mate, but P5 in that field, and I've said it a couple of times already post race. I think it's the second strongest strength of field in Skip Barber history. Top 5 off there positions you well to begin with. Unfortunate incident. Looked like SPS got a slowdown and served it on the outside of the entry. I don't know. That's just what it looked like, and that just made it awkward through there. And then it's tough to come back.
Yeah, it was very awkward. I was pulling out to make a move on Yamato at the time, and then the corner of my eye saw Yamato have to pull out, and all the gear changes, all your lines, all of that changes in a hurry, and and that corner all week I've seen people get net coated with car whiffs apart and the rest of it. So look, it happens. Go Phillip Island, we hope.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You do. I was on the receiving end of one. I reckon you could have driven 2 cars between myself and Dimitri in one race this week. And look, it's just one of those things. New track. Sometimes these things take a while to smooth out the old wrinkles. It. Yeah. But anyway, mate.
Glad to be a part of it, boys. So thank you very much for putting it on. So all the rest of it, keep going.
Beautiful, thanks, mate. Listen, great to see you out there. Look forward to seeing you out there each week, and of course, renewing our on-track battles at Phillip Island next week. It's going to be mint.
100%. Yeah. Oh, and just want to say that I saw during the week the Skippies are boring. I don't know about that race. I don't think that was very boring at all. So, yep.
Very good. All right, mate. Thanks, Vasco. See you in the coming weeks, mate.
Bye.
Yeah, Corey Vasco Sorowski once again showing you can have a party at the top end, the tail end of town. Good on him for having at least a smile in the sound of his voice, if not one on his dial after that one.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. But I reckon Vasco was just one who loves a good fight. And the end of the race there, where he was having that 3-way fight with Gardner and Philippides, that was just absolutely up his aisle. He's probably disappointed that it wasn't up towards the front of the pack, but it was a great battle with a couple of guys that he's pretty friendly with both on and off track. And, it definitely showed that, when he came in for his interview, he just had a big smile on his dial. He's always happy to come in for a chat as well. And that's just one of the things that we love about Vasco. He could be having a great race or could be having an absolutely buggered up race. And no matter what, he'll absolutely always still come in with a smile and have a chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of coming in for a chat, we did find one extra gentleman lurking around in the green room, Mr. Dimitri Philippidis. Dimitri, not the race you were looking for after having strong pace here all week, mate. Tell us your story.
Yeah, just made a mistake in my second lap of qualifying, and then from 11th was pretty difficult. It's weird here. Some corners you seem to overheat your tires, and then like 3 or 4 corners you just got absolutely no grip. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, when the corners are so well connected and you got to put them all together, and the way you do it this circuit, it makes it very difficult. But listen, mate, strong performance this week. You've had the pace, and just shows what one lap in quali can do. It can really position you awkwardly in the field and make it very difficult to use that pace. But hopefully, mate, Phillip Island, different style of racing. Have you done any laps there yet? What's your thoughts at this point?
No, I've actually never raced it at all, so it's going to take a bit of practice. Probably try it out tomorrow, I guess.
Oh, mate, you're in for a treat. It's one of the best racing circuits in the world. So, well, mate.
That's what all the Aussies will say, right?
Mate, it's not quite Bathurst, but it's not far behind. Anyway, that'll do us.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be great. All right, mate. Listen, thank you for joining us. Bad luck tonight. You've had a bit of bad luck this season. I reckon things have got to be about to turn around, but only time will tell, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
No, so once again, like to thank you guys organising every week. And that's about it.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Look forward to
Dimitri.
next week.
Yeah, mate. We'll see you then. Thanks, mate.
See you guys.
Corey, Dimitri Philippidis, not the race he was looking for. Like I said, a good pace this week. So hopefully he gets up to speed at Phillip Island and he can take advantage of it there.
Oh, I can only hope so, Alice, because Phillip Island, as you said, is one of the better skippy tracks that we have on the service. It's fast, it's flowy, and it's just right up the alley for these cars. So I reckon Philippidis is going to have a fun time there for sure.
Yeah, mate. He will. I will. Everyone who turns up will. It's going to be awesome. Look forward to it. All right, folks, that might just about do us for this week. One dominated by the blue and orange mobile of Team Torpedo's Tim Hendrickson. Corey Steinhauser, tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week.
So this week for the Output Racing League, we have our final race of the regular championship at the Phoenix Raceway. It's the final race full stop for NASCAR for the year, and it's just the end of our regular championship. As of next week, we'll go into the playoffs, and the broadcast for that will be up on Thursday at 11:25 a.m. Western Australian time, which is GMT +8 on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. On Friday, we'll be racing street stocks around. We've got an off week for Night Owl, so it's going to be Shenanigans Dirt Street Stocks at a rallycross track. And then I've got a very busy weekend ahead of me, Alex. I've got Outlaw Karts on Friday at Pinjar Raceway, and then I've got Perth Motorplex for round number 2 of their racing season, which is the Western Annapolis, I do believe. So you can catch all the action for that on my Facebook page, facebook.com/SpeedwayMeme69. And back here next week with you as we go and tackle Phillip Island.
Yeah, mate. Looking forward to it. Should be epic. All right, folks. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Your support from the community, I should say, for this series is outstanding. We really do appreciate it. Of course, you can find us on the Top Split on YouTube. That's where you'll find the replays for this and the other 28 odd seasons of Sunday Night Lights. Top Split TV on Twitch is where you'll find us each Sunday night. It's the best skippy action you'll find each and every week. Discord, Top Split, is where you'll find our SNL community. And, just hit like, subscribe, thumbs up, all those things on those different places. It really does help us get the great word out about this community that we all love to be a part of. But for now, folks, and on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. And until next time, I will say ciao for now.